Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Tiff from Journal with Tiff, and today I am going to go over my current favorite dusty pinks. I'm not a pinky kind of girl, but a dusty pink, a pinky brown, a pink mixed with a little bit of gray or purple, that's the type of pink that I like. So, I'm gonna say one, two, three, four different inks. I know you see 5 bottles, but these two right here, I'm gonna say ink 1, 2, 3.1, 3.2, and 4. So yeah, because these two kind of go hand in hand, and you'll see what I mean in just a moment. So I was flipping through my ink journal, and I was noticing when I did my purple exploration, and it was volume 1. I'm like, I kind of like the splotches, so I thought I would do that again. Yeah, I had done that right here another time before, and I thought that was really cute. So I don't like to be in a box and do it the same way every time. To me, that just gets boring. So I'm going to use just an old sandwich bag, the sandwich bag method, and to do my swatches. The first ink is a sample that was gifted to me, and oh, the ink on my hands, this is crazy. And they even look like ghostly white, like pasty, because I've been cleaning pens and I've got ink everywhere, so please forgive that. But anyway, my first ink is Sailor Manyo. This is a Manyo ink, and this is Akamai. This is like I said, it's a Manyo ink, so there's no shimmer or anything like that. And I'm just going to put a couple of drops here. And with my trusty sandwich bag, I'm going to just do an organic type swatch. Yeah. And to write my sample, I'm going to be using the Steel Kakamori nib. I had never heard of this particular ink. I think this is one of the versions of Manyo versions that I had not experienced. So when someone gifted this one to me, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I was really digging it. All right, so this is, hope this writes good. Sailor Manyo, Akamai. And I decided to go with this one first simply because it's the lightest shade. This is really what I would call a true dusty pink. Like it's light enough that I feel like it really leans on the pink side. I don't see a lot of any other undertone. It's basically pink. So if you like dusty pinks, this is definitely an ink that you want to check out. Next is another Sailor ink, but instead of Manyo, this is a Shikiori, and this is Kamoshika. Down with my bag. I love how these are just so organic, and you don't really have to think about, like, you know, what your swatch is going to look like. It kind of just is what it is, and I really like how it comes out. I feel like it just kind of gives it more of an artistic touch, if that makes any sense. And I have turned this a little bit, a few splotches from my previous page, but that is okay by me. I have already been using this particular ink, and I was really expecting it to be a little dry, but because my last experience with the Shikiori ink was dry, this one not so much. although it's not exactly coming off of my nib the way I would like, but we are working our way through it. Let me make sure I have the name right. Kamoshika. I always feel like I'm being disrespectful if I am not pronouncing a name appropriately. So I find myself apologizing over and over. But I think that's all of us. We're just do our best to say the names the best we can. So this particular one has a little bit more of a deeper dusty pink. Ooh, I'm so out of frame. I'm so sorry. A little bit deeper, whereas the Akamai is a little bit lighter. This one's a little bit deeper. I see just a twinge more of the brownish undertones, and we'll definitely see these better once they're dry. And if there's any color shift, color change, anything like that, and just of course the true look of the ink. And that's why I love to use Tomoe River paper as well, because I feel like I get a true representation of the characteristics of the ink. So this is Sailor Shikiori Kamoshika. All right, next I have two inks that basically have the same base color. This is Diatramentus Pearlescent Mocha Bronze and Diatramentus Pearlescent Mocha Gold. So I'm going to swatch both without agitating the ink, so that we see, so that I can see it without any of the shimmer. And then I will agitate it and do a swatch next to it with the shimmer. So this is the Mocha Bronze without any of the shimmer. And then I'm going to agitate it. See, it's all down here at the bottom. And I'm going to make sure that I get my, I'm going to go down here to make sure that I do get some with shimmer. Let's see, where do I want to put this? Let's put this right here. Okay, clean that out. I have my little trusty jar of water right next to me. Clean off my bag. And here we go. Ooh, pretty. And I'll let you know which one I like the best once they're dry, whether it's the bronze or the gold. Oh, I got a drop there, shoot. Oh well. Okay, this is a little line test here. I think I got a good amount of shimmer. Diatramentus, and this is Mocha Bronze. I can't wait for this to dry so that you can see this in all of its glory. Next is the Diatramentus, and this is again pearlescent in the Mocha Gold. I'm going to start off again with the swatch. I have not agitated it just yet. And see, I just want to confirm that the base ink is the same for both. And this is the Mocha Gold without the shimmer. And now I'm going to agitate it. I hate agitating it too much because you can get bubbles, especially if you're putting it in a pen. In this particular Kakamori nib, I doubt it'll make much of a difference, but you just never know, you know? Go down to the bottom and get a good swatch. And let's ball this up again because I want to If your bag has creases in it, it's more likely to give you a very unique swatch. And this is kind of a newer bag. And I'm going to dip my Kakamori nib. Again, this is the gold. I can already see the bronze sample coming through. Come on through. I love it. And the reason I love it, I have to spell it out in my head. I don't normally write with shimmer in my inks, unless it's a fatter nib, which I don't normally use. This is the Mocha Gold. But I love decorating my journal pages with color swatches. So, oh, and look, I've got it all over myself. Goodness gracious. So can't wait to see those two when they dry. And lastly, I have J. Herbin Cacao du Brazil. This is not a shimmer ink, but this is the darkest of the dusty pinks that I wanted to explore. And I have been using this one lately as well, and I've been really happy with it, really happy with it. I may have put a little much on the page, so it may take just a minute to dry, but that's okay. And I hope there's no shimmer left in this nib, because I want to get a really good representation of it. Okay, this is J. Herbin. Cacao du Brazil. This, again, is the darkest of all the dusty pinks. This one basically kind of looks, right now before it's dried, it almost looks like a brownish gray with a pinky undertone. But I still keep it in the dusty pink family when I use a larger nib. And I noticed how cacao in the name, I feel like that does kind of pull in just a little bit of the brown color when I think of cacao or like cocoa beans or whatnot. So I'm gonna let this dry and I'll be back so that we can look at all these. And I am back. These have mostly dried, but I think they're dry enough that we can pretty much see the majority of the properties of these inks. First was the Salo Magno Akamai. This is the lightest of those that I've swatched. What I will call a true dusty pink. I don't see a lot of brown undertones, gray undertones. I'm sorry if I keep coming out of frame. I'm not paying attention because I'm looking at the swatch. But like I said, if you are into a dusty pink and you don't want a lot of this, different undertones or leaning one way or the other, this is definitely the one for you. I'd see just a tiniest bit of a darker sheen. I wouldn't call it a black sheen around the edges, at least not in this swatch. But it is darker sheen around the edges, which is to be expected, but just a lovely, calming, soothing color. Next is Sailor Shikiri Kamoshika. Please excuse the extra little drops there that seeped in from the prior page, but this is also a very lovely dusty pink. Just a little bit more of a brownish undertone, leaning a little bit more browny purple color. Definitely nice, not drying as I was expecting it to be, but definitely a gorgeous, gorgeous dusty pink. Now to inks 3.1 and 3.2. These are the Diatramentus Mocha inks, one with bronze shimmer and one with gold. To the left, I have the base, which looks the same for both. And here with the bronze shimmer, the gold shimmer, and I'm just gonna go ahead. I think my favorite is the bronze. The gold is just a little too heavy on the yellow for me, but the bronze has just a little bit more neutrality, and I'm digging it. And that undertone definitely has just the tiniest bit of a reddish brown undertone, but it's still definitely pink, definitely pink. I guess I could call it more of a pinky mauve color underneath, but with the shimmer on top, it is just phenomenal and I love it. And lastly is J. Urban Cacao do Brazil. This is very much, actually, I would say this one is really more of I'd say a grayish brown with a pinky undertone. So there's more grayish brown that's face forward as opposed to the pink that's face forward. But there is still a dusty pink layer to this. I've been writing with it. It's not dry, at least not in the nib that I've put, that I've used it with. And it's like, it's not brown, it's not pink. I'm loving it. And this reminds me a lot of Kitsune Biore, where it's that sometimes it may have a lavender hue, it may have a pinky or a brown hue. It kind of depends on your nib, how much ink is being put on the paper, but this is just absolutely lovely. And that's all of them. I am really curious if anyone has used any of these. What do you think? Please let me know. Leave a note in the comment section. Please don't forget to like, consider subscribing, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.